All right, so we're going to start talking a little bit about music now. We want to hear about how you first got involved in music and how old you were, and tell us a little bit about how you fell in love, I guess, with music.
Well, you know, Brad, the thing about how I got involved, it goes back to when I was 6, 7 years old, when my parents used to sing around the house. And then we would hear music on the radio coming from West Virginia. I'm a hillbilly.
Right.
And the only music that I heard was country music. And my parents used to sing some folk songs also. And so to me, back then, you know, music was music. But it was a good thing that I was introduced to country and folk music, because it gave me an appreciation of all music genres. See, so when I came out of the chute, I was like, basically I fell in love with R&B. Because it was something about R&B that was different from all the rest, okay? And then I used to watch TV, and I watched Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis, Johnny Mathis, Nat King Cole, all these legends of their music genre, and just loved those guys, and had such a great appreciation for what they sang and their performances and how they conducted themselves. There's no way that I can explain how I feel about the Rat Pack. Those guys were awesome. There hasn't ever been anything like them since. They were great friends. They did a lot of things together, and positive things, for the most part. So when I was about 12, I thought that maybe this is what I wanted to do when I grew up. At 14, I had my first group. It was my brother, my best friend, and myself, and we called ourselves the El Domingos. That lasted a minute, because my best friend couldn't sing. He just couldn't sing. So the group, we split up. And then I joined a group, and I was only there for a short while, called the Parliaments. But it's not the group that called themselves the Parliament Funkadelics.
Right.
You remember that group? And it was a great doo-wop vocal group. And we used to stand on the street corner, on the street light, you know, 16th Street, make that singing, harmonizing, and we draw a little crowd, you know. People would love to watch us sing.
Now, was this in Huntington?
This was in Huntington.
Okay.
Yeah, because the other places that I lived when I was a kid didn't have anything to do with my music or anything. It was because I was young, and my mother had been sick, and I had to live with my grandmother in Charleston, West Virginia, for a while, and then I lived in the mountains with an uncle and aunt, off and on for a little bit. But Huntington was a great place to grow up, to go to school, and to come from. I kind of wished at one point in time that I'd stayed in Huntington. But if I'd never left, I wouldn't be who I am today, where I am today. But music has always been a part of my life. And my mother introduced me to the Drifters and the Platters and K-Star, Laverne Baker, and all those people, because she loved that portion of it. Now, her best friend lived 3 doors away. And she introduced me to Howlin' Wolf and B.B. King, and she liked the bluesy blues stuff, you know. And my mother, she liked the R&B, and so I was all of this music was going in my head, and I just loved it all. And so after the Parliaments, that's when I joined the Army, and I went from base to base, and I would form or find some people that wanted to sing, or they found me or something, and we put a little groups together and sing on the Army posts. And after I got out of the Army was when I was asked to do some backup work, background harmony work for a couple of guys that lived in Augusta, Georgia, because that's where I was discharged from the U.S. Army.